Alrighty, I have here with me Jake Cahill, who's gonna give you a little demonstration of his not so swarmy, very synchro-y Blackwing deck. But first, Jake, let us see those sleeves.
Oh, got these. Ordered them straight from Japan.
Nice.
YuGiOh.
Nice.
That's how you pronounce it.
Alrighty.
Great 5Ds character right there.
Alright, so why don't you give us a rundown?
I really like her character. Alright, so
I read her for the articles.
Alright, so I mean, pretty classic Blackwing build. You got your 3 Shura, pretty self-explanatory. Destroys a monster, you get a Blackwing with under 1500 attack, special summoned out. You can pretty much bring out anything. You can bring out a tuner, you can bring out another level 4 in case you want to go into a Xyz summon. Super versatile, just absolute Blackwing staple. 3 Callets, another very self-explanatory card. If you can run an Honest in your archetype, you might as well run 3 of them. Combos super well with Shura. So drop the Whirlwind, drop Shura, pull Callet from deck, and then opponent goes to go attack you, or you go to go attack an opponent. Drop Callet, 3200 attack, usually gets over anything, and you can, of course, combo him with any other Blackwing when your opponent isn't really expecting it. Next, you got 3 Bora. The piercing's nice, but you really use him for his special summoning ability. If you have a 4, you special summon him out. Go into a rank 4, or if you have Kochi out, it's an instant level 8 synchro. So absolutely essential, and once again, another pretty strong Blackwing attack-wise with Callet combines to be pretty strong. I also run 3 Blizzards. A lot of people say Blizzard's getting a little cloggy in this format, but I actually think Blizzard's still an awesome Blackwing staple. Pull him out, he's an instant level 6. Level 5 synchro.
Go right into that YuGiOh.
Go right into YuGiOh, go right into Armides. Super great. I mean, a really good card, especially if you've got dump level 4s. And he's another choice where if you've already got a Callet in hand and you drop a Shura or Bora or Zephyros or anything that can pull him from the deck, he's a great second option because you have that backup just in case your level 4 does get sent to the grave. Gale is at 2 this format. Absolutely love it. Gale probably in my personal opinion, best Blackwing card out there. Special summon him as long as you control another Blackwing, can have attack. It's all been said, but this guy, he just goes out, nerfs a card, and then synchros into whatever you need. Especially you can combo him with Sirocco in this format, go into instant 8s, instant 7, instant 6 with Callets if you really need him. Just absolute amazing card. So glad, hoping maybe it gets bumped up to 3. We'll see. Interesting choice. I actually run 2 Orochis. Once again, because of that special summoning ability, I synchro so much that this guy, 4 instant, he's an instant 5, mostly if you combo him with a 4.
Right, and this table is super uncomfortable.
And the changing battle position is also a great secondary effect for him. And also another Black Whirlwind target if you really need it. For things I put at 1, Kochi. If you really need that rank, he's great because he's a level 4 tuner, which means you can pull him out with Shura, you can go into rank 4, or you can drop him, then Bora, go into a level 8 synchro. Interesting card. We'll very see how much longer I keep him in the deck, really, but for right now, working really well. Sirocco's starting to go out of style, and some decks don't even run him anymore, and I'm getting to the point where I'm seriously considering dropping him, but if your opponent controls a monster and you don't, his ability to channel attack into other Blackwings and swarm, super helpful. Also, combo him, he will still search out anything with Whirlwind in your deck, so like he still has a lot of use. In this format, maybe not so helpful. Zephyros, another card for those rank 4s. Bounce a Whirlwind, bounce him. You can do it once a duel, but it's only a cost of about 400 life points. Completely worth it. And, of course, if you're running Blackwings, gotta run that Dark Arm Dragon.
Alright, that's it for monsters?
So spells. 3 Whirlwind, without a doubt. Key card of the deck. The deck actually does function relatively well without Whirlwind. But once again, if this is on the field, you're just pulling Blackwings from everywhere. Incredibly helpful. After that, Allure, for the draw power, Raigeki.
The Raigeki.
Just because it's in format, blows up your opponent's field, especially if they've got a great setup. Takes out those combo heavy decks. May not be as good against the top tier decks, but it's Raigeki. You're causing your opponent to reset in some sort of way. Book of Moon, of course, and one MST. Not sure how much longer I'm going to keep this thing in the deck, mostly just because running one, not entirely useful. Might drop it for a Wiretap or a Lance or something like that, but not going to really complain with being able to take out a spell or trap. So that's it for spells. After that, got a pretty sizable trap lineup. A lot of people do think Icarus Attack is a little more cloggy now, but this is the card, in my opinion, that really keeps Blackwings relevant. The ability to just tribute any Wing Beast monster, pop 2 cards, incredible. Even with the prevalence of artifacts in the meta, you still are able to take out monsters, take out face up cards. It's great removal. 2 Fiendish, just of course
because Fiendish.
Because it's Fiendish, you know, takes out monster effects and keeps you just in case it keeps them from attacking in case your field's empty or something like that. But most of all, that ability to just negate an effect, incredibly clutch. 2 Mirror Force. Mirror Force, maybe not as in format as it used to be, but running it ahead of Deep Prison for now, mostly just because it's still Mirror Force. Like Raigeki will take out your opponent's attack position monsters, and can't really argue with that. And then after that, got Staples, Bottomless, Compulse, Solemn, and then I run 1 Breakthrough. Just in addition, keeps those effects from getting out of control. And then I run 2 of the Blackwing traps. I run Black Sonic because it's a Blackwing Mirror Force that banishes, and that can be so damaging because it banishes. Never really gotten to the point where I've had 3 and activated it. Still good. Delta Crow, maybe a better side choice at this point, but against the decks that I've just played here, and even at a locals, I was able to pull this card out and still be pretty good against decks that aren't running that pesky back row artifacts. This card takes out all your opponent's spells and traps if you have control of Blackwing. So if they try and kill your Blackwing, you can then flip that, at least punish them somehow.
So is that it for main deck?
That's it for main deck. So extra deck is still a bit of a work in progress, but I'll show you what I've got so far. I only run 2 rank 4s. I know a lot of people are more about the running more rank 4s in their Blackwings. I see a lot of Excatons. I see a lot of Silent Honors. Maestro, the Master Key Beetle is another one I see a lot of. But my deck is a little more synchro heavy, and I haven't seen any real downside to that. But Zerafine, if you can run run a lot of level 4 Wing Beasts, this guy is a powerhouse. Just takes out effects and then gains attack, and then really can cripple your opponent for a turn at least. Next, you got Silent Honor. Goes without saying. Incredible card in the meta today. Level 5s, Catastor, Armades, Hyper. Hyper, the utility's going down a bit more. Don't really synchro summon more than once per turn with this deck. So might see him phased out a bit. Armades, because Armades. Catastor, because Catastor. Level 6s, there's going to be a YuGiOh coming in here soon, but as of now, Vulcan, that bounce ability, so lethal, considering you often play face-up cards that have the 2 Fiendishes. There's nothing like bouncing a Fiendish to bounce an extra deck card back with Vulcan and then hitting your opponent for 2,000 and then being able to reuse your Fiendish. Like that's a beastly combo. This guy, way more useful than I ever could have thought. HTS, if you're going to leave a rank 6 out there, your opponent has to think about that banish ability. Very helpful. And Armed Wing, because he's a decent Blackwing Synchro, and his piercing ability is great, and still pretty viable, I'd say. 7s. This deck goes into 7s extremely easy. The problem is the amount of 7s you can really run with this deck. A little lower than you'd want. Black Rose, once again, Black Rose wipes out your opponent's field. Maybe not as good in the meta today, mostly just because of all the destruction out there, or anti-destruction artifacts and whatnot, but still key card, at least makes your opponent reset. Armor Master, another card that might not be as good, but still your opponent has to think about it. Can't be destroyed by battle, and you don't take any battle damage. It can shut down some opponents who are trying to just sort of ram into you and go for the beatdown game. Doesn't work there. I run a lot of 8s for a Blackwing deck. So I run a Void Ogre here. I found myself without a hand a lot, and if you can pull this guy off without a hand, he's a once per turn, takes out a spell or trap. He's pretty decent, but don't imagine he's going to be staying in the deck very long. I think I might swap him out for a Leo or Star Eater. And then you got your sort of Dark Tuner guys. Beals, because if you can run Dark Tuners in a deck, you gotta run Beals.
I think I see you pull Beals about every duel.
He's one of the main plays you can get with this deck. The access to Gale has just made 8s so much easier in Blackwings. Dark End's a card that's maybe gone a little out of format, but I think he's a card that I really think people should be running more of, especially in Blackwings, because you have the access to dark monsters. He gets around a lot of the anti-destructions. When I was at a locals, guy pulled Draco out on me, and this guy gets around Draco because he doesn't destroy, he sends to graveyard. And that's such an important, really one of those really bitchy Yu-Gi-Oh! Word sort of grammar
Syntax.
Syntax things that just makes him still a really powerful card. And then after that, you got your Crimson Blader, shut down those bigger plays, and Stardust anti-destruction. So that's it for extra, and hope you enjoyed that.
Alrighty, there it is, the Synchro Heavy Blackwing deck from Jake Cahill.